Well, hello and welcome to ILoveGay today. And we're with a friend of mine that we love reconnecting in the real world on a regular basis, Darragh from New York. How you doing?
I'm great. I've actually been back in New York only for about 2.5 weeks, so it's been very
Oh,
interesting. Yeah,
no, you're,
it's
and are you normally in San Francisco as well?
so actually in this case, I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and my mother still lives in that region. And so when Corona and COVID and quarantine hit, she asked me to come out and be with her. And I happily obliged, and I was there for about 3 months. And then I decided that I need to come back to New York. I miss New York City. I wanted to see what life was like here, and my life is here. So I came back about 2.5 weeks ago, and I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I would have imagined, even this far into quarantine, that a lot more of the city would be shut down. But I mean, in a positive way, it seems like people's spirits are high,
Yeah.
that people are being very open to adapting. I think that's one of the strongest suits that human beings have. And it's been a pleasure to be back and to be safe all the while.
Yeah, yeah. Did you do anything? Did you do anything last weekend for a more subdued Pride?
For a subdued pride, yes, I feel like I have some of the most wonderful friends in the world, straight, gay, or otherwise. And I think, you know, it's a very heavy time right now, um, over the whole planet, but you're still finding little ways to celebrate each other individually, each other's communities, each other's accomplishments. So as far as how I celebrate Pride is making sure I wished, several of my close friends, family members, happy Prides, and having a little bit of that outreach, and then sort of being very reflective and understanding that we had our moment last year. The queer community, the LGBT community, had an incredible moment to celebrate our accomplishments
Yeah.
in 2019 for the 50th anniversary of Stonewall. And then this year, being asked to be supportive. So sorry, it's loud. That's New York saying hi. Um, there's little cars going by, cabs in the background, little New York good morning. But this is really our moment this year to be supportive of other people, and so I did a lot of reflecting on how I could do that as a queer person in 2020.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Mhm.
By the way, when I lived in Manhattan directly, I lived really close to a fire station. And so
Ah,
every single time I would do like sometimes a webinar or just whatever it was, invariably a fire truck always came by and decided they were going to slow down in front of my house and just honk a few extra times.
that's yeah.
that's
Hey,
that's true living in New York City. It's just the way it
yes,
is.
I
But
know,
no,
I know. So thank you.
no, whenever you and I get together, we often we always meet up and chat, but it's always related to tech events because that's your world is technology. I know it's been Lesbians Who Tech in the past we've chatted about and StartOut,
Hmm.
but lately you've been doing a lot with Out in Tech as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'd be helpful to explain a little bit of my work. I'm really fortunate to work in immersive technology, which,
Yeah.
for anyone that doesn't know what that term means, it's virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, and a bunch of other really incredible emerging kind of futuristic tech that does exist, and it's constantly being worked on and worked at. And I work as a creative director, and I'm a journalist covering technology.
Okay.
And I curate immersive and emerging artworks that use that tech. And so in my many hats that I wear, I get to
Yeah.
see really cool projects. I get to work with really incredible people, and it's all about using technology to bring people together, and often to take big ideas and make them fun, make them accessible. And so I love the work that I do. And working in tech, I made a transition from working in the nonprofit sector into the technology sector. I feel like it's kind of the same in that you try to narrow down on what a problem a certain type of person or a group of people have, and then you try to solve it the best you can with the right minds in the room. So working in technology, especially as a queer person, given the theme of today's interview, I think it's really important to say that for a long time I was worried about joining the technology sector as a woman, as a lesbian, and I didn't want to deal with sexism or any prejudice. And while that does exist in its forms, I find the industries, particularly the niche of of immersive technology, to be inclusive, to be very excited about new voices coming in, about new minds with different backgrounds, different identities. And it's just so much fun. I feel really grateful for finding this industry and all the colleagues I work with in it.
I love that. By the way,
Hmm.
as a side note, have you ever? I don't know if you've ever heard of the campaign online 500 Queer Scientists.
No, what is it?
It's
Tell
all
me more.
because
I'm gonna Google this as you're talking to me.
in your world, I run into quite a variety. There's like really solid groups out there. Pride in STEM, OSTEM. They're all
Yeah.
science, technology, but with the LGBT angle. And there's a really cool campaign called 500 Queer Scientists, and it's all
Cool.
about every Pride Month they feature and do these things. Yeah, and I love it. I follow it every year, and it really allows you.
Amazing.
And it really opens up your world because it's not just scientists and medical. A lot of it is medical, but then also you run into these people that are archaeologists and
Hmm.
I don't even know the right words, ornithologists or what have you. But I think it's for birds. And
Yep.
okay, I got it right. But I love all this, and so I find myself. I think one of the reasons you and I chat a lot is because I was an engineer once upon a time, and
Hmm.
so you can never really let that go. So every time I see
No.
these folks, yeah, it's always in me a little bit.
Absolutely. And I feel like when you do have that desire to problem solve
Yeah,
and whether it's think big or think small, and by think small, I think it's better described as thinking in detail, really getting into the nitty gritty, the numbers, how the hell do we do the big idea? And that's such an important mindset. And whether you have one of those or both, to be in the sciences, to be in technology, you just want to make the coolest stuff. You want to build it. You want to
yeah.
understand it, and it's a certain type of person. And it's, as I said, I just think it's the most fun. I
I
really do.
I'll sound. I don't know how to say this without sounding a little vain, but I'll throw it out there. One of the reasons I've been able to just succeed in business is because I was
Mhm.
comfortable with technology. I entered it at just the right age, where it was just kind of emerging with computers and so forth. But I got bored. I love technology, but I used to get bored in the lab and bored as an engineer. So I went off in the world of sales and marketing, and I used to go
Cool.
out and sell laser systems for manufacturing. And I got
Cool.
really into it and good at it. And the internet came along, and I just put those two skill sets together, which means I loved build. I was able to think of things that would work online. I built it. I was able to build it. And I'm probably not the best programmer, but I was able to program. And then I loved going out and telling people about it. And
Yeah.
essentially that was it. And all these years later, I think I'm going to do this till I retire.
I love that. That is so cool. Congratulations on blending a bunch of interests that you had, a bunch of skills, and making a position for yourself that you've been in for quite some time where it's a niche. It really is a niche, and you
Yeah.
saw that before other people did. And that's really special. And in some ways, I wonder if you would describe the work that you've done in a similar way. I'm going to use the blanket term of like, you know, I say this to students sometimes when I lecture.
Yeah.
Being in emerging technology is kind of like a new Bohemia. You have all
Yeah.
these minds, this passion, philosophy. You have all these crazy different skill sets, many of which are creative, and you're throwing them all together to
Yeah.
figure out what you want to make, how you fit into this. And often by doing that, you find the niche you really belong in, or you
Yeah.
want to really take hold of. And it sounds like you did just that.
I
You
think.
you amassed these skills and you found this thing that you were so passionate about, and you can make it happen.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah.
litmus test, and I tell everybody this for any career, but is how excited are you on Sunday night before you go to bed thinking about Monday morning? And I remember what it was
Hmm.
like when I wasn't that excited on Sunday night. I thought,
Yeah.
oh, got to go to work. And I could tell you for the last many years, I've been extremely excited. Sunday night, I kind of get a little giddy because I'm like, oh, this has been a good break, which I give myself. I give myself a little break. And I can't wait for Monday to kick back in. So I wish that upon everyone.
Absolutely. And what a beautiful blessing to give to other people. Especially, I really think that, because in a world where I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to compromise, which is
Yeah,
understandable. Many
yeah,
people have a lot of weights that they have to carry. I get it. But to give others the blessing that they should find a profession and a way to spend their time that is fulfilling, that gives them a great sense of purpose. What a beautiful, beautiful way in which to move through the world. I think that's so thoughtful.
well, thank you. Thank you. No,
Yeah,
that's why we love getting together. And I
I
was going to ask you
know.
before we even like anything on the horizon for this summer. Any fun projects or things you're going to be doing?
Sure. Thank you for asking. Given that it's the tech industry, there's some things I cannot talk about. Those NDAs, those friend DAs. So there's
Yeah,
some things I can't talk about, but I will say I'm very, very excited to be working on them. So
excellent.
I'm looking forward to throwing my energy and my attention into that. I have a few projects that I'm consulting on right now. Some stuff that I can talk about. Um, I was asked recently to be on the board of a grant for immersive technology female artists through a funding platform called Kaleidoscope. And
Yeah.
we're giving out monthly grants moving forward. And it's a group of incredible women that I'm so excited to be sharing this responsibility with, fellow judges of mine, all of whom are kick-ass women in tech who want to help other women move forward. So we're working together to help fund projects by female creators every month. Again, Kaleidoscope, if anyone wants to look that up, Kaleidoscope Immersive or XR funding, you can go find that.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then I just started mentoring one of the teams behind one of the projects. It's a project called The Choice, and they're focused on documenting the stories that women have had going through abortion or making that hard choice. And I bring that up because reproductive health is a huge passion of mine, and I'm really honored to be helping consult them on marketing and distribution. And I'm also mentoring this incredible artist. She's an experiential artist named Tess Hosham here in New York City, and it's through an organization called Statera Arts. And we've just been getting to know each other over the past few months, and it's just been a pleasure working with her. So those are some little things I have floating around just right now, and some other projects that I wish I could talk about, but I appreciate you asking me.
Well,
It's
the next time we get
helpful.
together at a nice coffee house in Brooklyn, which is our
Yes, I love
favorite thing
that.
now to do.
Mhm.
So maybe by that time you'll be able to give me some new updates.
Yes, I probably can. I hope.
I love it. Well, it's great to see you
Yeah,
here. I really appreciate you taking
thank
out some
you.
time and just sharing some of
Yeah.
what you're up to here.
Yeah, likewise. It's really, really cool to see that you're doing this. I've listened to some of the other interviews you've done. They're awesome. I think that this is such a great time to be asking people what they're up to, how they're seeing themselves, how they're reimagining the world. This is a hard time, but a reflective time, and it's powerful to document that in the moment. So you're doing the hard work of capturing people right now.
Well, thanks.
Thank
You're
you.
such an inspiration. So like I said, look forward to the next time we connect.
Yes, likewise, and
All
thank you
right.
for this.
Thank you. Take
Yeah.
care
Happy belated Pride.
now.